Hi everyone, we are live. It's great to have everyone back up here on the channel. So please sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and we're going to have a live cute question and answer series this evening, and I hope you all will enjoy the series. So come on inside, I'll give everybody just a little bit of time to get on, and I hope everyone enjoys the show. So we're going to give everybody some time to get on. Hey, Matt Console's on. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, bro. Hope everything's treating you well. Good to give everybody a few minutes to get on. It's the first time I've actually done one of these in about a year now, so it's really good to be back on the live stream of things, and good to see so many of you out there as well. So I'm going to give everybody till about 7:25 to hop on, and we'll have a little bit of fun tonight. Hey, Scott, how's it going? Hope you're well. We're going to give everybody a few minutes to get on, then we'll start having some questions, and hopefully some guys will be able to have some fun tonight. We're going to talk model trains a little bit, big trains a little bit, and maybe even some tips on N scale, HO scale. We could definitely have a little bit of fun with this. RDG Rails, what's happening, bro? How are you? Steve's on. What's going on, Steve? How are you, sir? It feels good to be back on live stream, man. I have missed this so bad, and I'm excited to start one of these up again. Uh, just to give everybody some time to go on, people have asked me what's been going on right now, Pat. Well, I've been busy with my job and working on a lot of things at home. Still been capturing some trains every once in a while and getting videos out on the channel, working on some of the models a little bit, especially with my CN ES44AC, which is my newest of the fleet for about a month now. It's running really great. Right now, I've got it paired with my C39-8 right now because the Kato actually has been working really, really well with the scale trains engine. So the newer Kato drives on the GEs in particular work really well with the scale trains rivet counter engines, which I was very surprised at. So I've been playing it with that, and even the Atlas-8 that I have, the ES44 has cooperated really well with it. Some people have asked me why the sudden change in CN. Well, CN and I've always loved CN. I've always appreciated their history and also the predecessors that actually formed CN, like Grand Trunk Western, uh, Wisconsin Central, BC Rail, Illinois Central, Bessemer and Lake Erie, to name a few of them. I've always liked the CN heritage side of things, and they have legit heritage units, like Burlington Northern Santa Fe does. But CN has the last GTW SD40-2 that is in GTW codes. And Elgin Juliet Eastern, or the J, they have a lot of FT38-2s left, which I think is fantastic. I've always liked CN because of their scheme and also the other schemes of CN that have led up to this point. Zach Glassman's on. What's going on, big dog? How's it going? Hope you're doing well. We're just talking about some model trains and some big trains a little bit. But I've always liked CN. Not only for their paint scheme, but for the variety of cars they have and the way Canadian is spelled on each side of the car. SD38s are hard to find. You have to know where to look. Yes. CN has been moving those around some, I think mostly in yard service, but they are still out there in EJ and EP, which I've always liked that scheme. It's like, and you always know what a dreamsicle is, the ice cream bar. It's orange and white, and it's beautiful. I've always liked the EJ&E paint scheme. That's that one is really pretty. I've always liked BC Rail just because they had technically three different schemes. They had the green one, which was the older, the red, white, and blue scheme, and the blue and white scheme. Those schemes always look good. They always look good. Uh, so please fire off some questions that you may have, big train related, model train related. It could be about layout related, things like that. It's been a while since we've done one of these. If you remember the Q&A series I used to do, you can ask me questions like your favorite food, favorite drink, favorite movie, uh, favorite model railroad manufacturer, favorite railroad, etc. SD30 is still in Bessemer Lake. There is some Bessemer Lake Erie still out there, and there I believe there's some SD45T-2 still in B&LE paint. Did Canadian Locomotive Logistics, what's going on, man? Did you know you can go to a webpage like created called Locomotive? Cool. Very cool. Didn't know that. Now, I will tell you, scale trains and me, when it comes to model railroad stuff, I swear by scale trains products. Because scale trains is very good, and I've always had very good luck with scale trains, Cato, Atlas, and some of the other brands. But scale trains is definitely way up there in the market. So please, guys, ask questions. I'm going to be doing this till about 8:30 or 8:45 Eastern. So please ask questions. Even talk about newest releases in N scale or whatever stage you want. Wheeling Lake area has a few SD40T-2s, and two of them are even Rio Grande scheme. Yes, I forgot about those. They kept those as heritage, and Wheeling in Lake Erie is all EMD. Scott asked, how did you get into model railroading? That is a very good question. Some people have asked me that in the past. My parents built a train layout back in 1999, which has been 26 years ago. It's my own gauge layout that I have done videos of in the past, which I still have. I've got in with that, and before you know it, I was into models and expanding to different gauges and actually working on some of this stuff now. And I really enjoy it. You can definitely learn a lot. You can test your memory a little bit to put yourself up to a new challenge and learn about some products out there. Lionel's Vision Line GG1, one word, beautiful. Lionel has nailed that model ever since they came out with it. Even the older versions of that GG1. It's always been one of my personal favorite locomotives is the GG1. To me, it's also the most underappreciated locomotive as well. Heard the next one, Scale Trains 40-2, should be here in late September. Got BM pre-ordered. That's awesome, dude. SD35 and stand owned by PLX 7436. Yes, that's in the Western Maryland, the black scheme. I don't know what the name of it is, but I know the red and white is the circus scheme. But yes, the 7436 is still active, and it's probably one of the very few SD35s still left. Long live the GG1s, yes. And Scott asked, it's getting hard to find people who can perform difficult repairs. How do you keep your trains in working order? That is a very good question, and a lot of people ask me. I have locomotives that are new in the box. I have some that were my grandfather's, some were my dad's. How do I keep them maintained? Well, there's a lot of good points in this. First, obviously keep your tracks and your wheels clean. My recommendation, you can use a little bit of rub and alcohol like you would get at the drugstore or even Walmart or your grocery store. Clean the wheels really good. Also, make sure your gears and your bearings are oiled and greased. The gears need to be greased, the bearings need to be oiled. Because if you don't lubricate your engines properly, it's more wear and tear on the locomotive, and you will not get the life out of the engine like you're supposed to. So That's another thing. There's the two main important things right there that you have to do. Uh, for N scale, the engines, since the gears are really tiny, and I'll get one of my engines and I'll show you. I'm going to use my ZA locomotive for a few minutes. Bring it up to the camera. As you all can see, the little pockets right there on the bottom of this truck plate, they're really, really tiny gears. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's where the gears are. And for locomotives like this, they don't need a lot of grease. They just need some light oil. You can get by with just a little bit of light oil on one of these things. HO, you can use grease on the gears and also the oil on the bearings. But O gauge is where lead, tacky, grease, and oil all come into play. Now, I'll explain why here in just a second. O gauge was a little bit more involved when it comes to lubrication because of the fact you have larger components, larger wheels, larger gears. They require a whole lot of lubrication because it's metal gears on metal gears, which causes friction. An extra actually a number two red grease is recommended there. For oil, you have to use a medium oil because the bearings run a lot, especially if you're in a club that does O gauge. I'm actually part of a club that does O gauge, HO gauge, and N scale. Every time we maintenance an O gauge locomotive, we clean the wheels, we clean the pickup rollers since there's 3 rails, and we also lubricate the gears by just taking a small shot of grease where the gears meet on each truck, and then allow the gears to turn, and that grease will spread around. It doesn't take a lot of grease. Next thing I recommend, oil all your bearings sparingly. And after so many hours, you do it again, because if you continue to do it, the life of your engine will actually progress, and that's what you want. So there are some tips on how to clean some of that stuff, and it's definitely a must do. Favorite template O gauge by Lionel. If it's the diesel, the state set, especially the 408E. I call that one the two-tone brown, and obviously the Blue Comet. It has to be the Blue Comet for standard gauge. That's one of my favorite engines that Lionel produced during the template years. Strasburg's been doing quite a bit. The C&O 614, yes. Building a roundhouse for Pennsylvania Steam and cosmetic restoring the P&LE caboose. That's great. Yeah, Strasburg has always been one of my favorite steam shops because that place is full of talent. One second. Let's send a quick text for a second. But there's a lot of talent that goes on in that shop, and they do a lot of good work. And their work is definitely appreciated. And I love seeing Strasburg 90. That's a very beautiful steam locomotive. So keep asking questions, guys. Keep asking questions. Please ask. We're going to be doing this, like I said, till about 8:30 or 8:45 EST. So please ask your questions. Let's see. I'll get that in just a second. Dale's train station, yes. Zach, I've been going in that store since I was 3 years old. That's a really good store. Yes. Yes. That's a store that I love to go into. I love going in that store, and there's lots of other ones that I have been into. And guys, if you are into model trains and you find a model train store, please stop by in there and look at whatever you can find, because I'm telling you, it's awesome. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. You can sit back, you can talk trains with everybody that's in the store, which I've done. I have done that about 1.5 million times. So I really love going in model train stores. It's like hanging out in the barber shop before you get a haircut. Talking about the football game, or talking about what happened over the weekend. Talking about gossip that's going around of the latest release, which I think is good anyway. But the model train stores are definitely places that are underappreciated. So please, if you have a local train store in your local area, please stop in there and support local. They put 90 back in her 90s scheme. Yes, I did see that. It looks good. And Norfolk and Western 475, yes. And I was really glad that Strasburg fixed that engine. And I don't know how Strasburg fixed that engine, but figuring out how it was all done. They took it to the shop, they fixed it, and brought it back to life. I applaud Strasburg for that. Scale Trains announcing the 284s. Glad to see they're doing some steam engines. Glad to see they're doing some steam engines. I'm glad to see that Scale Trains is expanding their market a little bit, especially with the releases of the GP30s in both HO and N-Gauge. I have one of each. The 2601 in both N-Gauge and HO gauge. I was very impressed with Scale Trains on this with their newest diesel release. I was very glad of that, and I'm glad to see that Scale Trains wants to be able to expand a little bit, and see the GP30 was the first 4-axle they did, and now they're doing steam engines. I applaud them for this. So please keep asking questions, guys. Please keep asking questions. On the Scale Train side of S-Gauge, would you like to see some releases of engines? I kind of would like to see some S-Gauge from them. I know really the only people that are doing S-Gauge right now under the current day is Lionel under the old American Flyer name. I believe that's the only S-Gauge producer out there, which I'm really, really sad, because S-Gauge is definitely underappreciated. Now, when it comes to American Flyer, there are a couple of engines that I really, really like. Let me think. World's Greatest Show. That's the American Flyer Lines Hudson. It's painted red with the circus cars and the animal car on the rear. I love that set. I've always loved that. I believe that one was manufactured in the 50s. There are a few of the other steam engines because they had the white wool, the white painted around the drivers. I've always liked the American Flyer steam engines, and I also like the Alco PAs that American Flyer produced in Santa Fe, Union Pacific, I believe Missouri Pacific, and I believe they also did Southern Pacific and Northern Pacific. Now, which Union Pacific presidential unit looks the nicest? 1616 or 4141? I don't know. 1616 looks pretty. I like 4141 because not only do I have it in N scale, we have it in O gauge at our club. So I like them because it was the first one. Good to see 611 being moved from Roanoke to Goshen, yes. Really glad to see 611 is still thriving right now as well. So, like I said, we're going to continue this for another little bit, so please continue to ask questions. We went in Lake Erie 1776. That one's pretty. That one is pretty. I got to give it to those guys over there. They did a good job with that locomotive. And I believe Florida East Coast also did one as well. And that one looks pretty too. Glad to see some bicentennial engines floating around. Steam comes from the NNW 1776 and use an RS5T because that was their horn. Yes, I love NNW 1776. That's my favorite high hood SD45. Stamped in Norfolk and Western in gold lettering, red, white, and blue, and that still has the original RS5T on it. And I love that locomotive. I will look at a lot of high hoods, but I will always look at NNW 1776. I love that locomotive. I really do. Because it's just what it is. It is just what it is. Virginia Real Fan Productions, what's up, man? Doing fine. Caleb, what's going on, man? Glad to see you popped on for a little bit. Come on in and join the fun, brother. Favorite N-scale brand? I have several favorites, and they're all a little bit different. Scale Trains, Rivet Counter, Kato, because I've always loved Kato products. Atlas has made a good product in recent years as well. I have a couple of 3 Atlas locomotives I'm pretty happy with. Let me think of who else. Bachman's come out with a decent one. And Intermountain to me is very underappreciated. They're very underappreciated. I have a little bit of Intermountain. But in my mind, for pulling power, Scale Trains, Kato, and Atlas, they're really, really good. And they're the ones I really like to collect because of their drive systems. Their drive systems are built to last. Someone has a video of the wheeling in Lake Erie 1717 blowing its horn. Man, I would really love to see that. Bishop, if you've got a link to it, send it to me private message, if you will, because now I'm getting curious. So, yeah, keep on asking questions, guys. Keep on asking questions. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. It took one more. Caleb says, I'm currently editing a video at the moment, so I'm basically multitasking. No, you're fine, dude. You're fine. Editing videos, I love seeing when people edit videos. Yeah. Keep editing some videos, bro. Come on now. Edit some videos and make some videos for your channel, man. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Excuse me. I just got the link as well. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay. 38-2 in N-scale. Glad to see they did. And from what I've been told, they're pretty good runners. I know Trains with Shane got the GP40 in N-scale. I believe he got the MKT in just DC, and it ran pretty well. I have a GP40 by Bachman in N-scale too. It's my NS, I believe it's 3053, and I've had that one for 4 years now, and that engine will do some work. Do not misunderstand. That engine will do some work. So, Bachman has come a long way in literally the last 35 or 40 years. They have gone back and they have basically gone back to the drawing board and redesigned everything. Their HO engines are really good. Their N-scale engines are excellent. I'm really, really glad that Bachman has gone back from the days of the old pancake drives and the nylon gears, and they've gone back with a really, really strong drive. So I applaud Bachman for that. I really hope they do some more of the 38s and 40s in N-scale. Hopefully they come out with some more paint schemes. I know they do some 6-axle engines with DCC and sound, but I wish they would do some that are just DC. And I will do that. Thanks, Andrew. There's a train store down in Charlottesville, Virginia, and I have a very good relationship with the people there. What's the name of the store, Caleb, if you don't mind me asking? Now I'm curious. I'm really curious on the name of that store. Now I'm getting curious. 3751 has been fired up and going to Los Angeles. Oh, yeah. I love ATSF 3751. That's a beautiful 484 Northern. I have a 484 Northern in N scale. And I've got the passenger cars for that. I don't run it often, but I'm going to be running it here soon. Which I love that little, and that little Steve engine is a Bachmann. I have 2 Bachmann engines. So, happy about that. So, yeah, please continue to ask questions, guys. Please ask. Ooh, excuse me. Let's see here. So, we're just sitting here talking about some trains and talking about some rolling stock and having a little bit of fun tonight. I thought we could have a little fun Friday. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you, sir. I will definitely give it some consideration. I'll give that some consideration. I was looking at a message that popped up on my phone for a second, but everything is fine. So, but yeah, like I said, guys, we're going to continue this for another little bit, so please continue to ask questions. Currently building a CSX grader and getting some CSX family lines, chassis hoppers, and an RFP hopper. Awesome. Thoughts on the passenger cars for the Steam Railway Institute that's using for 611. Glad to see some of those cars have not only been preserved but reused and got a new lease on life, which I believe were the double-decker cars. And those double-decker cars were from Virginia Railway Express, or VRE, which is the Northern Virginia's commuter railroad. I have definitely rail fanned them. I love seeing VRE. I really do. I love seeing VRE. VRE's, I mean, a good little commuter railroad sketch. Would you like to see really like Area 17 sentence be released in HO? I would rather see it released in N, but if somebody releases it in HO, it would be a good model. Because I don't think there's a lot of wheeling and Lake Erie stuff out there in either state. So, yeah. And nice on the layout there, friend. Here. Okay. Keep on asking questions, guys. Please ask something. You know, sometimes some things fall right off the top of your head. So, but if you have other questions, guys, please continue to ask because I enjoy doing this stuff, and please ask questions because this is definitely what fun's about. Thoughts on scale trains now moving the CSX heritage units NYC RPSCL to November. I don't mind that because I know for most people, they won't mind waiting for something that's good. Uh, I know sometimes there's a hiccup in production and sometimes there's a hiccup elsewhere. And most people will not mind waiting the extra time. And sometimes it just takes a couple of attempts to get it right. Sometimes it could just be a very small issue or a complex issue. I know there were a couple things I had to wait on, but I said, hey, it is what it is. So, the first pre-order I ever pre-ordered from Scale Trains is the C39-8 because I love it in caramel paint. I literally said to myself, I can't wait to get this, and it's really, really good. B&B Railroad, what's up, bro? How are you? It's been a long time. Thoughts on the animated stock car in scale. Now that was an interesting release that Bachman did. I thought that was a pretty cool thing. Hey Zach, send me that question via private message if you will. Yeah, Andrew just corrected some information on that. Yeah, that engine's getting rebuilt on the inside. I think a bunch of the internals are getting rebuilt. It's time for it. What am I up to? Well, living life every day to the fullest, my friends. They always say, it's good to be seen. It's good to be seen. Um, living life to the fullest, staying busy with my job and playing with the trains a little bit, watching the big trains, things like that. I'm really happy about that and being able to do some things I like to do every once in a while. So, but just living life every day to the fullest. Hope you're doing well, friend. Now, which layout are you referring to, my friend? The N scale or which one? And thoughts on the North Pole and Southern locomotives? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I love those. And they are extremely beautiful. They are extremely beautiful. And Lionel has done North Pole Central for their Christmas themed stuff, which I really like that stuff as well. And Lionel and some of the other manufacturers like to do Christmas stuff every year. And Micro Trains does holiday cars every year as well, at least most years. I actually have one in my collection. My Engage layout is just on the other side of the camera, and I've been doing a little bit of work to that one, but mostly just getting rolling stock and keeping everything running. Large scale GP40s. I did not know they released those in large scale. I knew they did them in HO and M, but I did not know they did them in large scale. All Bachman large scale stuff is underappreciated, bro. It is definitely underappreciated. I have not messed with my HO stuff in quite some time. I have barely even touched HO. I've been mostly moving to N a little bit just because it's smaller and it's a little bit less expensive. HO I'm not really doing much with. I'm not saying I'm getting rid of it. It's just I haven't done as much progress with HO as I have done with N. I really, really like N scale because not only is it a little bit more affordable, you can do a lot with it. You can use HO buildings on an N-gauge layout. You can use 3D printed items, which I have done a lot of. And it's so fun. N-scale is so much fun. When I first got into N-gauge, it was a set that was given to me by one of my mom's co-workers, and I fell in love with it. HO I fell in love with in 2007. I had been into HO for 18 years. I fell in love with Bachman and old Taito rolling stock just to get started. Then later on, I moved up. And then back in 2019, I got back into model trains again and got some stuff running. And then it was during 2020, the only thing I did was update power with like 6 or 7 different engines. Just giving engines, getting engines to pull the train. And the latest one I have is a Proto 2000 GP38-2 in CSX Y and 2, and I will get that one and show it to you. It's a pretty engine. It was new in the box. The only thing I have done with it is get a DC decoder for it, and the guy put LED lights in it, and it runs fantastic. MTH Rail King Pennsylvania M1As, glad to see those made a comeback. And good to see 7103 on the Erie test track. Good to see that. Let me go grab that engine really quick. Do you find modeling multiple model rail trains, I can speak tonight, do you find modeling multiple model train scales fun? Absolutely. Because you can learn a little something different from each one. And when it comes to repairs, most of the repairs are different. You can challenge yourself a little bit, saying, hey, I know what to do here, or hey, this is different, let's take a look at it. And N-scale stuff, easy to repair. HO's a little more involved, O-gauge is definitely involved. But N-scale, when it comes to like rolling stock, it's ABC 1, 2, 3, and same with the engines. Look at that CSX engine for a second to let B and B see this. I'll be right back. Here is the latest engine that I have in HO that I bought about a year ago. It is a CSX GP38-2 in Y&2 by Proto 2000. It was brand new in the box. The only thing this engine has had is a DCC decoder, and that's it. The engine runs flawless. It has electric momentum, which allows, when you turn the speed dial, well, the throttle wheel, it gradually picks up speed just like a real train, which is I really like about these engines. To me, Proto 2000 underappreciated, but they are handsome models and they're decent pullers. Had a technician put a decoder in it for me, got everything set up for me, and it runs like a champ. It really does. So that's that engine. I will go and put this back on the layout, and I'll be right back. Keep asking questions, guys. Keep asking questions. Sit back down. Thoughts on the GATX 4180 air slide hoppers in HO, N scale, or large scale? Now, I have an air slide hopper in N scale that's by Microtrains, and that one was custom weathered by Microtrains themselves. And the air slide hoppers are definitely underappreciated. In HO, they look pretty. They look pretty. Excuse me. Excuse me. Let's see. Andrew's going to be right back. So, just trying to think here. Oh, there is something else I will show to you. I love holiday cars just because they're cool. Uh, I like them for the fact that you can add them to, you know, your Christmas trains or whatever, or your holiday trains. But Microtrains has done these cars for a long time. Hey, thanks, Console. I appreciate the comment. And thanks, Steve, for that comment as well. But these cars right here, the holiday cars that Microtrains does, I've always liked them because you can have a whole Christmas train full of those cars, and those are underappreciated. And this one is one from 1993. Offset double door boxcar. It has the train around the tree, and Microtrains does a wonderful job with these things. Like one year it's a boxcar, one year it's a covered hopper, one year it's a caboose or a gondola, things like that. But in my opinion, these cars are underappreciated. And Microtrains, you can't beat them. You cannot beat Microtrains. In my mind, Microtrains in N scale, when it comes to rolling stock, it is the best of the best. They're built very well. They're designed well, and the detail is incredible on this stuff. Plus, you can get some cars that are weathered, like the Auto Rack that I have, the BNSF hopper I have, the CSX hopper I have, even the two X Squaw Creek hoppers that I have in N scale. Those are all custom weathered, and I love those because of the fact that they're different. And I love the fact that Microtrains does different things to give their buyers some extra options out there. Bachmann 5161 3-bay hopper in HO. I did see that in their latest news release. That one's pretty. That one's pretty. Okay. Keep asking some questions, guys. It's 8 o'clock. I think we go for about another 15 minutes or so, and you can ask any other questions you may have. I think the SD40-2s look nicer than in YN2. Yeah, YN2 SD40-2s always a classic, and the Jeeps are always a classic too. 2756 is the last YN2 GP38-2. And I believe 4419 is one of the other YN2 Jeeps that's out there. I think there's only 3 or 4 of them left in existence. So it's definitely a unique, experience to see one of those to flash back to the 90s. I have the whole YN2 list. Wow. And I can imagine that YN2 list has diminished quite a bit. Thoughts on the LGB P42? Man, I forgot LGB was out there. I have a legit LGB set at home, but man, they released a Genesis and G scale. Oh, let's party! Wow. Now that's something that's blowing my mind right now. You think the drum solo with pants? Well, we did it a lot of times when I was in school, and sometimes we just do this on the desk. I just want to have a little entertainment. Okay. let it keep going for just another few minutes here. We'll finish out the last few questions and we'll call it a night. GP30 dash user 1 2773. I forgot 2773 is still out there. So I know for the GB40s, I believe it's 4419. I believe there is one more. All right, Matt, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being on tonight. Oh, man. You're good, man. You're good. 6957 is the other Y and 2 cheap 40. Oh, wow. I thought one of the 6900 still had Y and 2 on it. Wow. I forgot 6957 is still on it. It is 8:05 p.m. We're going to go ahead and start winding down a little bit. If you have any last minute questions, you can definitely share those questions. There's a good handful of AC4400s still Y&2, absolutely. And there are still some Dash 8Ws in Y&2 that are still floating around. But the Y&2 days are numbered, so definitely get your pictures of it. Alright, it is 8:05 and we're going to go ahead and end this video here. And yes, a bunch of those engines are in storage, but hopefully those will come out at some point. So, anyway, we are going to conclude the live stream for this evening, so thank you to those who have tuned in. For the first time, I have done one of these in quite a while. So it's great to see some of you people return, and just want to let everyone know that I'm still doing premieres and still doing stuff on the layouts and stuff. I have got a couple of products in there for the my stuff that I'm working on. I'm also working on some stuff for Heritage Village Trains. If you have not yet been to see Heritage Village Trains YouTube channel, please do. Thanks, Andrew. I appreciate the confirming. I thought it was 3 of them, but you told me it's 4. Okay, it's 4. All right, that confirms that. So anyway, please look at Heritage Village Trains on YouTube. I just put a release up there not too long ago. I'm actually working on another release as well. I'm in the process of actually working on not only the project, but I'm just waiting on parts to finish the project of where I can finish the video. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this live stream. Take care of yourselves. May God bless. And I will see you down the main. So long, everyone. Until next time, may God bless. Thank you all so much.